OurMFC. Woo! All right, you can stop applauding now. Okay. It's a bit loud, you know. I haven't just scored a worldie, unlike Duncan Watmore or Paddy McNair. More to come on that later, all right, because that's the second of the two games we're covering today. You know, first of all, we're going to look at the Boro versus Reading game, look at the Sheffield United game. So I think we'll get started. I'll stop waffling and yeah, we'll get into it. So once again, I was at neither of the games. I couldn't get to them, so bit of a shame. But well, it was a shame for the second one, not so much for the first one against Reading, in which we succumbed to a 1-0 defeat away. Select Car Leasing Stadium. I mean, what a name, truly. Wow. What a fantastic name for a stadium. That really draws in the crowds, that does, I'm sure. So I've looked at the highlights and I've got who scored open with all that statistical goodness. So the first thing I saw on the highlights was there was a Reading chance in the first half. Once again, the man marking was exposed. Howson kind of is tracking his man and then he comes across, which, you know, he comes across to take Peltier's man, which would make sense positionally if we weren't playing a man marking system. It seems like, I don't know, that to me kind of looked like the players don't want to be doing the man marking system. You know, it's against their instincts. Yeah, I don't like it either. Seems like a lot of people don't. You know, Dana from the Boro Breakdown podcast, but not a fan. You know, shout out the Boro Breakdown. They're bigger than us, so, you know, if you haven't heard of them, you've heard of us, then crikey. What are you doing? Choosing good content. That's what you're doing. Sorry. I don't mean it, Boro Breakdown. We love you guys over here at OurMFC. That wasn't me praying for forgiveness, by the way. What essentially happened there was, you know, it meant that Peltier stepped forward to keep marking his man because maybe he didn't hear Howson shout, tell him to track Howson's man, and, you know, big mistake, left him in acres of space. You know, the Reading player, you know, Lumley saved. You know, Lumley had a pretty good game according to that. You know, a quick look at the stats. I mean, he had a 7.2 on who scored, 4 saves, you know, pretty solid. More on Joe Lumley later. Yeah, and then Reading had you know, that was in the first half. Next thing I saw on the highlights was a second half chance for Reading, which again, Howson in the middle of it. Now, I don't really, I mean, he switches off. Well, he doesn't really switch off for the first chance that I saw. He just kind of makes a decision that goes against the tactics, which, I mean, like I say, I think it would make sense for him to cover the man in midfield and let Peltier cover the man outside. But that's not how, you know, the team's set up to play. And so, you know, you can have a go at him, really. But I understand why he's done it. This one, he's very slow to react to the running behind. And he's not the quickest, Johnny Howson. So he needs to be proactive, really, in seeing these runs, and he doesn't. It just allows a simple through ball to completely cut the defence open. Lumley with a save as well. You know, as discussed, Lumley had a solid game. I do think he needs to be more of a leader back there. You know, he's got to be telling his defence there that's not good enough because they just made it too easy for Reading. I've noticed this from him. He doesn't seem very vocal. I don't know. That's something I'd like to see more from you, Joe, if you're watching. So a bit more of this, if you please. Keep saving it. You know, that's by all accounts, that's fine. That's your job. So keep doing that. But also, bit of talking, bit of leadership. That's kind of what I'd want to see. Hey, what do I know? I just, you know, just record and talk. And then Reading do score in the second half. Good off the ball movement from them. You know, third man runners. We don't commit at all. You know, probably a tactical instruction to keep the shape, I'd say. But they just play a 1-2. John Swift able to, you know, run untracked. Squares it across to Alan Halilovic, who, if I'm thinking correctly, used to be at Barca, was like a wonder kid back in the day. I'm thinking back to like FIFA 16. You know, I couldn't believe when I saw Halilovic. I was like, whoa, mental. Hell of a player, probably. I don't know what he's been doing for the last 5-6 years. Apparently scoring against us now. So thanks, Alan. When I say hell of a player, it wasn't a hell of a shot. He just completely scuffs it, kind of hits it with both his feet, but it goes back across Lumley and he's beaten. Can't really have a go at him there. And then, you know, later on in the second half, Crooks get a red card. It's later been rescinded. The angle on the highlights wasn't great. You know, from that angle, it does look bad. It looks like he's dived in to hit the ball, you know, catches the keeper on the face, and it's been rescinded. But the referee said he made a mistake. So it's okay, Neil. You can calm down. One thing that did annoy me, and I won't get into it too much, but it did annoy me when I was listening to the pre-match press conference, I think it was, for Sheffield United, when Warnock was saying that he doesn't see the need for committees. Unless I'm misremembering the quote, but I'm pretty sure he said he doesn't see the need for committees in like overturning red cards. Like if the referee says he's made a mistake, which I don't agree with. But hey, each to their own. You do you, Neil. You do you. And then, you know, going back to Lumley, very late in the second half, he has what many people are saying was the best chance of the game. Glancing header, just goes wide. I mean, maybe he should do better, but let's be honest, he's a keeper. So, yeah, he's not Allison. let's just say that Alisson would have scored that, but Joe Lumley, not quite Alisson. Although he's doing all right, to be fair. He got a lot of stick early on. That QPR game was an absolute nightmare. A few of the times he hasn't been great, but recently, he's been doing pretty well. We're going to look at some of the star performers. Obviously, Lumley, probably the star performer in the game. What went wrong here at Reading? What went wrong? Well, let's have a peek at the heat map, shall we? You bloody bet we will. Okay, played the 4-2-3-1. Average rating is 6.28 on who scored for our players. That's great, isn't it? That's fantastic. I saw Piero apparently didn't have a great game. He only had 19 touches. If we compare him to someone, should we say John Swift? They're both playing centre attack and mid in this game. Piero has 19 touches. John Swift has 69 touches. So clearly we won on the ball. Isaiah Jones. So what was Isaiah Jones doing? A very centre on that left-hand side, as you'd expect, quite high up. But can we look at Isaiah Jones' performance? What did he contribute? It seems like people have just figured out that our tactic is just to give it to Isaiah Jones, which is great. Jones dispossessed 3 times. I'm not going to have a go at him. He's still only 22. He was playing for Queens of the South in Scotland last year. No one expected him to be in the first team. Poor game from Isaiah. It happens. I have every faith in him. Just a stinker of performance, really. Let's look at the chalkboard. Quite a damning statistic is in terms of shots in the game for Boro. Andres Boro, our striker, had 2. Who else had 2? Joe Lumley, the goalkeeper. Joint most shots in the game. So it's not great. Let's be honest. It's not great. Crikey. Really not a great game from the boys, is it? Paddy McNair had 70 touches. He only had an 82% pass attack. I would assume that means we're playing a lot of long balls in this game. Up to Spurrar, who, if we have a look, aerial duels, where's Spurrar? To be fair, actually, Spurrar only attempted 2 aerial duels. Maybe we were trying to launch it long to Crooks. That would make more sense. Had 6, attempted 6, won 3. Isaiah Jones, ground duels, attempted 10, only won 3. So, not a good game for him. Lost possession 15 times, Isaiah Jones. Not a great game. Not a great game. But we'll move on to more positive things, because guess what happened Tuesday night? Sheffield United, turn up to town. It's a little 2-0 win. Yeah, why not? We'll take it. We'll take it, boys. Lovely 2-0 win over Sheffield United. 2 absolute screamers as well, as I've mentioned earlier. Paddy McNair and Duncan Watmore with some absolute belters. Very impressive stuff. Yeah, opened the scoring in 9th minute. Mark Bowler assisting Duncan Watmore, Duncan Watmore is an absolute belter of a finish. Ginger Pele is back, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary. Each to their own, mate. You do you. It's a great goal. And it's truly, it's a thing. Sorry, I thought, it's just a mark on my screen. I thought Lee Peltier had an accent on his E there for a second. I thought, what's going on there? Big Brexit Lee Peltier, who's apparently from France. But he's not, as far as I know. And then 37 minutes in, Matt Crooks lays it across to Paddy McNair, who absolutely wallops it. Just, flies in past the keeper. It's lovely. And then just held out for the win. Sheffield United, according to Who Scored Report, they had a 7.33 average rating. 6.33 average rating. Just, really not good from them. We had Sheffield United dominate the ball. So you'd imagine, if we look at the heat maps, that would suggest we were just sitting very deep, soaking up pressure. It's virtually, the heat maps the last few games I'm noticing are virtually identical. So clearly, there is a system in play here of going down the wings. I'm intrigued to see Spurrar's positioning in this game. Okay, he's a lot further forward than the last game we looked at, or the Reading game, the previous video. He's actually getting in the boxes, 25 touches. It's not bad. We've had the Billy Sharp had 32. So, and considering they had the ball a lot more than us, that's all right. In this, what will we playing there? 3-4-1-2. Switch back to the 3-4-1-2 according to Who Scored, because I haven't seen the game. So we look at the likes of who had a stinker. Johnny Alson didn't have no one had a good game really. Let's be honest. But yeah, it was a good performance from the boys. So despite them having 65% of the ball and 13 shots, the same amount of shots on target, both had 4 on target. They had 7 corners. We're offside more than them, but that is likely to happen when you're going down the wings a lot, trying to get in behind a lot, which, you'd imagine the likes of Duncan Watmore, Andres Spurrar were trying to do. Tav playing right wing back, I'm not a massive fan of, but hey, we won. So I'm not liking what I'm seeing here about Sheffield United getting 7 shots inside the box. I think that's kind of unsustainable. If you're letting teams have 7 shots inside the box, it's unsustainable, that kind of pressure to keep clean sheets there. I mean, this looks like a classic Neil Warnock performance. This about half the passes, 278 to 521, 27 long balls out of 70 are just a lot of long balls not completed. I'm noticing that a lot. It does confuse me. It seems like there's a disconnect between Warnock and what the board want. The board obviously want these new signings to play, and Warnock's system doesn't work for them. Let's be honest. Yes, we won against Sheffield United. That's a big win, and fair play to the boys. Well done, Neil. You know, you're under pressure. You're still under pressure. Okay, I've seen reaction on Twitter. Let's let's temper expectations here. It's a good win. It's a good performance. Enjoy it. But all the criticisms of Neil Warnock do remain. But I still don't like the football. You know, I still don't like the system. Yes, we scored 2 great goals and we beat Sheffield United, who've just come down. You can have it side who've been in good form recently. We look at the last few games. They beat Derby 1-0. They lost to Southampton on pens, but before that, beat Hull 3. You know, they were scoring goals at will recently. Only the one there, 2 against Southampton, 3 against Hull, 2 against Preston, 6 against Peterborough, and we stopped them scoring. I mean, the heat maps do show a classic Neil Warnock performance, as do the stats with the amount of long balls we're trying. You know, let's do some quick maths here, Let's get the calculator up and do some quick maths. Yeah, so a quarter of our passes, basically, we were trying long balls. We also attempted 17 crosses, completed 2. So I do think you need to not get carried away. Because let's be honest, the 2 goals they would have been low XG shots, Watmore and Paddy McNair's. You know, you would not expect them to go in. A lot of the time they would not go in. I think we just need to temper expectations. You know, it's a good win. It's a good performance. Well, it's a good defensive performance. Right? Is it even that, actually? 7 shots inside the box for Sheffield United. I mean, Lumley must have had a good game. He only pulled off 4 saves according to this. But if we didn't block any shots, apparently, and they had 7 inside the box. They clearly weren't clinical on the day. That's what that suggests to me. To have 7 shots inside the box and not score. That's either a world of a goalkeeper performance, or they've all got. I don't want to be mean, actually. No, I'm not being mean. They've all got me syndrome. Yeah, I'm allowed to say it. Self-deprecation. Don't you say it. Okay, that will crush me. As I've said, classic Neil Warnock. 21 clearances. Neil would have been loving that. Loving, people throwing the body on the line. I can imagine that dressing room. Neil would have been loving every second. The possession's a madness. 35% possession. It's not what I want to say, I'll be honest. 35% possession and 278 passes. But I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly. We beat Sheffield United 2-0. They've just come down. They've got Sander Berger. Ollie Norwood's is good. Morgan Gibbs-White, Robin Olsen, who was at Roma and played for Sweden in the Euros. What's going on there? Ryan Brewster didn't do well in the Premier League, but last time he was in the Championship, he banged. Ollie McBurney, pretty much the same. They've got Conor Hourihane as well, who's always quality at this level. It's nice. It's a nice performance. Leaves us in 11th in the table with 10 games gone, 12 points, scored 11, conceded 11. So we have scored kind of a mid-table amount of goals and conceded a mid-table amount of goals. Basically, we're a mid-table side at the moment, which isn't really good enough, let's be honest, considering the talent brought in this summer, where we were last season, which was about 10th. You'd expect us to kick on, and as it stands, we kind of stagnated. So I think that about wraps it up, really. A lot of rambling in this video. But that's what you click for, isn't it? That's what you want to see. All these ramblings and, minimal tactical analysis. That's what you get from me. Thank you for watching me ramble. Oh, one more thing. Sol Bamba, great performance from him against Sheffield United. 8 clearances, blocked 2 shots, 2 interceptions, won 5 of his 5 aerial duels, 6 accurate long balls as well from 8. Fair play, Sol. Cracking performance. It's really good to see, coming back from what he's been through, coming back from cancer. You love to see it. My heart goes out to you, Sol. Smashed it. Yeah, we look at Duncan Watmore as well. He had a good game. That's about it. A little bit annoying not to see Saliki or Piero come on. Maybe it's not their game. I do worry that they're being frozen out under Warnock. But we'll get into that another time. For now, let's vibe. We beat Sheffield United, guys. Hey, that's great. Yeah, I'm cold because my window's open. It's not on topic. It's just how I'm feeling. And I'm also feeling like you should like and subscribe. I'm getting that sensation. I won't lie to you. I'm getting those vibes. So if you want to do that for more of this subpar tactical analysis from me, go ahead. But don't let me stop. Let me encourage you, which I am doing. And you can't stop me from encouraging you. As they say, as the saying goes, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it subscribe. But you should subscribe. That is it for this week, for this match reaction. A double header. Thank you very, very much for watching. It's been a pleasure for me. Might not have been for you, but here we are. If you sat through it, respect you. And drop a like and a subscribe, if you please, if you enjoyed the video. I have been Ben. Thank you for watching, and I'll probably catch you in the next one. If not, you'll have someone who actually is more precise about their points. I'm going to dash. I'm going to scoot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.